So they would have to attack Iran and bring down this government, as they did with Afghanistan, and replace it with another government like Afghanistan, a Karzai government. And then we will see the fulfillment of the hadith. The Dajjal will be followed by 70,000 Jews from Isfahan wearing the Persian shawls. Once Pakistan's nuclear threat is removed, which should not be long from now, we can then expect the big wars to take place. Israel flexing her muscles. And as a consequence of this, both big wars against the Arabs in particular, we see the fulfillment of that vision of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and this vision of Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. And the territory of Israel expands. When you see the territory of Israel expanding, who is doing it? It is Gog and Magog. This is a book I wrote, An Islamic View of Gog and Magog in the Modern World. It shows the Sea of Galilee, but the shore, it's an Egyptian girl who designed this for me. The shore is cracked up, indicating that the Sea of Galilee is drying up. This is the time when we're going to find, as the Sea of Galilee is drying up, the big wars will take place, and Israel will expand its territory, and Israel will take over from the United States as the new ruling state in the world. When Israel wages those big wars against the Arabs, you're going to hear CNN and all the television stations, radio stations, clamoring that Islam is rising up. Islamic governments now are coming to power. Islam is rising up. And this is going to menace the world. Mankind is in great danger from Islam. These Muslims will slaughter everybody. The Muslims want to rule the world. That's a lie. You're the one who wants to rule the world, not us. And so you're going to have this propaganda offensive. It's coming soon. That Israel has to save the world from the menace of Islam. This is the reality of the Arab uprisings. The appearance was something positive, yes. But the reality is that it is beneficial for Israel to eventually fulfill its long-planned mission of ruling the world. And when Israel rules the world, you know what will happen after that. I want to leave time now for question and answers, but before I do that, let me end as I began. The only reason that I was able to sit here and give this lecture tonight and explain to you the reality is because I have studied Islamic eschatology, the ilm of akhirul zaman. And if you do not do it, you will be a people who will not be able to understand what is happening in the world. Let me end by saying that the Quran has a magnificent role still to play in history. The Quran has a role to play that will dazzle the world. But for the Quran to play that role, Allah has to choose from among our young men, those who will become the scholars of tomorrow, when we are in the grave. Maybe one from Kota Damansa. But you're not going to reap, my son, unless you plant. You have to study the Quran. The books that I have written, this is Jerusalem in the Quran, this is an Islamic view of Gog and Magog in the modern world, the most important surah of the Quran to teach you Akhiru Zaman is Surah Al-Kahfi. It is. And this book is entitled Surah Al-Kahfi and the Modern Age. And so I urge you to read and to study the lectures I've delivered, and that may Allah bless you to climb higher, that Allah has allowed me to achieve. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا يَا مَوْلَانَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ بِرَحْمَتِكَ يَا أَرْحَمَ الرَّاحِمِينَ آمين. The question is, what is the role of China in the events which are now unfolding? We said that Israel wants to rule the whole world. But the world is comprised of many people other than Hosni Mubarak, who will bend down faster than anybody else to Israel. And General Pervez Musharraf, who go down and even kiss Israel's shoes. There are those who will refuse to bow and bend. And most important of all is Russia. Russia will not bend to Israel. But the NATO alliance must force Russia to bend. And Russia will not bend. So you don't need a PhD in international relations to know that there is a major conflict coming. It is simple. And in that major conflict, you're going to have thousands of nuclear weapons being used. But it is not only Russia that will not bend. China is proud of her civilization. And China has every reason to be proud of her civilization. The Chinese in Singapore will bend down and kiss Israel's foot. But not China. No. China will not bend and bow. And China is a nuclear power. And so we can easily anticipate the Chinese-Russian alliance being restored, and that Iran and Turkey will be part of that alliance, because the Prophet said, عليه الصلاة والسلام, that you will make an alliance with Rome. Rome is not Rome, the capital of Italy. Nonsense. Rome in the Quran is the Byzantine Empire, Rome. And the Byzantine Empire, which had its capital in Constantinople, has now been taken over by Russia, Eastern Orthodox Christianity. So the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that you will make an alliance with Rome. But probably this hadith never reached Pakistan, because they made the alliance with Washington. When I speak like this, of course, the price I pay is that I cannot visit Pakistan anymore. I don't mind paying that price. I don't mind.